if you have been investing with Inkryptus for a while, for the last 1 or 2 years, you will notice that there is a fluctuation in terms of shillings, dollars of the amount that you're making. So there's a fluctuation in local currency, whether it be dollars or for the case of us, shillings. Okay, so there is a fluctuation, and it has been a very, very common question that so many people have been asking. Like, I expected that when I invest with Inkryptus, I'll be making, for example, 5 million shillings every month based on my investment, or 100,000 shillings based on my investment. But why is it changing? So, in order for us to actually understand, or in order for us to know why do we get these fluctuations in terms of shillings, the money that you get out at the end of the day, we have to understand the concept of this business. Okay? The concept is when you bring money, when you start investing, when you invest, okay, here usually we invest in our currencies. We usually buy USDT. Okay, when we invest, we buy USDT using our local currency. Okay, so we start by buying USDT using our local currencies. It might be shillings, Kenyan shillings, Tanzanian shillings. It might be rand if you're South African. It might be euros if you're in European, whatever currency. But we usually buy USDT. Why do we buy USDT? We buy USDT so that we can go to the next step of where we use the USDT bought to now buy INKY. Now, this is the asset. We use our local currency to buy USDT. And once we buy USDT, we now use that USDT to go and buy INK token, which is the asset. Now, the next step is after we buy the token, we stake it. Okay, this is now the investment part. Okay, once you have bought the asset, the INK token, you go and you stake it using Inkryptus wallet. That is the investment part. So we start with our local currency, we convert it to USDT. After we convert it to USDT, we convert that USDT again. We swap it to what? To INK. Once we have the INK, we go and stake it. And after that, we start receiving our dividends. Or some people call it rewards. But generally, this is where we get our profits. So that is how simple the business is. Your local currency, you buy USDT. USDT, we use it to buy INK. The INK that you buy, you stake them. And once you stake them, you get a reward. I believe that is very, very clear for anyone to understand. That's a very, very simple concept. Now, one important thing that we have to understand is that every business has dynamics. not only business, but basically here we're not doing business, but even investment has dynamics. Every business, every investment has dynamics. That is something that we have to understand. That is non-negotiable. Every business or every investment has dynamics. Now, based on what we have seen so far, these first, how many things? First 4 things that we have seen, we are already introduced to some dynamics. To this point here, these 4 things that we have seen here, we are already introduced to some dynamics. I'm not going to speak about them because I want to speak about all the dynamics together. All the dynamics, we want to speak about them together at the end, okay? Now, one thing that I have to speak about before I speak now of the dynamics is that these rewards or the dividends, or generally terming them together as the profits, the source of profit, okay? The source of profit is new coins coming into supply. Meaning that when you buy your ink asset, when you lock your ink asset, the profit that you get does not come from anywhere else except from the new coins that are coming into supply. New coins that are coming into supply. Meaning that the way the tokenomics of Inkryptus, the tokenomic design of Inkryptus, of ink, is to bring new coins through stakers, is to supply new coins to stakers. Meaning that when Inkryptus launched its project, not all coins came at once into supply. Not all coins came at once into supply. They brought in 10 million, the rest was 190 million, and this 190 million is coming in very, very slowly each and every day. And out of that 190 million, in simple terms, only 10,000, only 10,000 ink come into supply daily. And that is what is paid to the stakers. Meaning that the concept or the model of Inkryptus is every single day we are going to mint 10,000 coins, bring them into supply, and the way that we are going to bring those coins into supply is by giving it to those people who have staked ink within the Inkryptus ecosystem. To that point, ladies and gentlemen, are we clear? Please, if we are together to that point, go to the box chat and type 222. We started off by speaking of how the process works. We buy the coins using USDT that we buy with a local currency. We stake it and we get rewards. Now, these rewards, they come from new coins that are coming into supply. And the tokenomic design is that only people who have done staking, people who bought the coin and locked it, staked it, are the ones that are getting a portion of this new supply. And the new supply is only limited to 10,000 ink that come in per day. Only 10,000 ink that are coming in every single day. If we are together to that point, please go to the box chat and type 2, 2, 2. If we are together to that point only, go to the box chart and type 2, 2, 2. Let me see. Okay, I see. Okay, we are together. Because if you don't understand this concept, then what I'm going to explain later is not going to make sense to you. So let me do this. Now, I said earlier, every investment that you are ever going to make has dynamics. And that's very important for you to understand so that you can be free. That's very important for you to understand so that you can be free. Dynamics. Dynamics of staking INKY. So what do I actually mean by saying dynamics? When I'm saying dynamics is things that are not going to give you a constant return. Unlike, for example, government bonds, when you get into contract with them, they promise you we're going to give you 20% every single month. Or no, every single year, for example. Just for example, I know there's no government bonds that gives that 20%. But for example, they give you 20% per year. That amount is never going to fluctuate. It's never going to change. Now, that's static. But when it comes to Inkryptus, the amount that people get at the end of the day fluctuates. Now, that's what we want to see. What causes the fluctuation? The first thing is the dynamics now of the business is the price fluctuation. Price fluctuation. So what does price fluctuation means? It means the value of INKY against USDT changes with time based on supply and demand concepts. The first dynamics of this business, when you stake INKY today, the dynamics that you are going to face, the first one is fluctuation of price. The asset itself. The asset itself fluctuates. Because INKY against USDT is in the open market. And there is no limit of when to buy, when to sell. There is actually no limit of when to buy and when to sell. So anyone from anywhere using the wallet can come in and buy the asset. They can come in and buy INKY. They can come in and sell INKY. So that is something that can't be controlled. Now, it's this simple. When we have many buyers, the price goes up. When we have many sellers, the price is going to go where? When we have many sellers, the price goes down. It is that simple. With Inkryptus, when you have staked your amount, you have, let's go back here, okay? Let's go up here. You bought USDT using your local currency. Then we use that USDT to buy INKY. Okay? The INKY that you get, the assets that you get, the number of assets that you get depends on how much the price of that specific asset is. So it means that, okay? It means that when we have two people are buying ink, okay, with $1,000, $1,000. Then, for example, Charity is buying ink. Ink is at 1.4, let's say, 4, okay? That's the price of ink per USDT. Then, the amount of ink I'm going to get, how much is it going to be? It's going to be, the price is 1.4. I have $1,000. How much am I going to get? It's going to be 1,000. Let me see. 1,000 divided by 1.44. So perhaps I'm going to get 694.4 INKY. Another person comes with the same $1,000, but the price is 1.5 price. Then the amount of assets that they're going to get is going to be what? 1,000 divided by 1.5. So they're going to get 6.67 ink. So the price of an asset actually plays a role in terms of the dynamics, in terms of how much you get at the end of the day. So the first dynamic of this business is the price fluctuation. So it means that since the price changes, then the same asset, okay, the same asset can have a different value. For example, we have done an example. With the same $1,000, one person can get 694 ink, while another gets 666 ink with the same $1,000, meaning that price is one of the dynamics that you're going to face in this business. The price is going to be changing with time. If that is clear, ladies and gentlemen, please go to the box chat and type 333. If that is clear to that point, please go to the box chat and type 333. If that was clear for you, ladies and gentlemen, go to the box chat and type 333. And for those who are on TikTok, who are live with us, please, if you have any question, leave your question. Leave your question if you have any questions for those who are live on TikTok with us. Okay, that's good. People are following up. So that's the first dynamic that you are going to face in this business. The second dynamic is how do we call it? Let me find a very good word of putting it. The first one is price fluctuation. The second one is APY, or let's say return fluctuation. The main concept is that we are buying an asset, we are staking an asset, and we are getting profit from the new coins that are coming into supply every single day. Okay? Buying an asset, taking an asset, and getting returns from new coins that are coming into supply. So the first thing that we have to clear out is we get profit from new coins. Our profit comes from new coins. Now, the way this system or this ecosystem is designed, in order for us to balance supply, demand, all those factors, is that the daily mint is 10,000 coins. Only 10,000 coins. That is the coins now that has to be distributed to every single one who is using the Inkryptus, who has done staking with the Inkryptus ecosystem. Now, this is very simple and straightforward. Since, now, as I said, since the supply is constant, but the demand, technically not the demand, but the number of stakers, not number of stakers, but the amount staked is increasing. Then the only obvious thing that is going to happen, is the daily reward per INKY staked will decrease. The daily reward per INKY staked is going to decrease. Given that the supply is always constant, 10,000 coins, but the amount that people are staking is increasing, then the daily reward per every INK that is staked is going to be decreasing. Decrease. Very important word for you to get here. Decrease. Decrease. So this means that the APY will drop with more staked INKY. So as more people are staking, the APY is going to decrease. That's something that you have to get. As more people are staking, then the APY is going to decrease. If that is clear, please go to the box chat and type 444. If that is clear, the fact that as more ink is staked, then the APY will drop. Please go to the box chat and type 444. Okay, I see people are getting the concept. So it means that eventually with time, for example, you had, let's say, 1,000 ink. And by then, it was at 0.25% per day for the 36 months. Okay? Then on average, let me do the math here for you. It's going to be 1,000, right? Times 0.25% every single day. Okay? Times 30. So it means that every single month you will get gives 75 INKY per month. Keep in mind this is gross. This is going to be gross. Okay. Please mute your mic if you're joining the session. Please make sure that your mic is mute. Your mic is muted. Now, if it drops to, okay? Then we get to a day when we are paid 2.23% per day. Then eventually, for the 36 months, we will have 1,000 times 0.23% times 30. You're going to get, gives 69 ink per month. This is what? This is gross. So you see that, for example, you started staking when it was paying 0.25%, but the amount of ink that is staked has increased. Then eventually you're going to get 0.23, you're going to get to 0.23. So instead of getting 75 ink that you are getting before, you end up getting 69 ink. It's not because the business has not performed, no, but it's because more people are coming into the business. More people are staking into the business. So as more staked amount is coming in, and only 10,000 coin is there to be divided, then the APY will drop. Is that point clear? Very, very vividly clear, and there's no question. Please go to the box chat and type 555. If there's no question about the second point, please go to the box chat and type 555. Okay. If you have a question, please. Dupi, you say you have question. Please type your question on the box chat so that we can see what question is there, so that I can answer it straight away before we, go to another portion. So basically, when you are dealing with this business, these are the two dynamics that you are going to face. These are the two dynamics that you are going to face when you are staked or you are doing staking with Inkryptus. And it means that the price fluctuates, the value of ink fluctuates. I'm going to share a screen with you. I hope I have it open here somewhere. I'll just open it for you and we can see. And other than price fluctuation, we have the change in terms of the returns that we get. So if someone introduced you to this business and did not tell you that you're going to face these challenges, then you have to know that. The price of an asset changes. That is very, very, something which is very, very common. Any crypto asset changes. Even today we were at the office and we were talking, and one of my colleagues here called Mabanza hinted, he said that ink is not fluctuating that much. He was comparing it with Solana. He said, Solana, if you hold Solana, you will know what price fluctuation actually means. With Inkryptus, we have a bit of a stable price. We have a bit of a buffer, but he was complaining. He said, if you hold Solana, you'll know what you are doing. Because, for example, if you look at Solana, there was a period when it was at its high at $100+ and it went down to $7 within a period of a few months. And of course, it rallied back up to 100 and something plus. So the price fluctuation is there in every asset. The APY fluctuations that we are seeing in this business specifically is because our profits come from a constant supply, and more people are joining the business. More and more people are getting in and trying to harness what other people have been harnessing for almost the third year, or the third year, let's say, the third year now. So as more people are coming in, and the supply is constant, then the amount of coins that each staked ink gets fluctuates with time. So those are the two dynamics that you're going to face in this business. And Dapi say, I'm new. I'm sorry. Can you please help me understand the business if you don't mind? Oh, okay. Now you want to understand the business? Okay, that's not the main subject for today, but what I was trying to get people to understand is the dynamics that you're going to face in this business, because this business is very straightforward. I simplified it here that this is a business where you are buying an asset which gives out staking rewards. And with your local currency, you buy USDT. And once you have USDT, you can use them to buy ink. Now, this ink that you buy, you stake it, you lock it for a while. And when you lock it, you get a reward at the end. You receive a dividend. And this dividend comes from new coins that are coming into supply. That is within the Inkryptus tokenomics. They designed an ecosystem where they have 200 million coins. The initial mint was 10 million coins for the company to run itself and the entire project. The rest, the 190 million, they said it's going to go to the public. And they chose staking as a way which they bring now the new coins into circulation. So when you buy ink and you lock it, you're going to get new coins that are coming into circulation because you're done staking. The new coins now, you can use them to either increase to the ink that you have, or you can swap them back to US dollars, then sell it for your local currency and have money to use. So that's the simplest way which you have to understand the business. And the main challenges or the main dynamics that this business has is the fluctuation in price, which I explained a lot about. The value of ink per dollar changes, and is the fluctuation of the return. What you are making is not constant. There is no saying that if I invest 10 million shillings, I'm going to get 500,000 every single month. That does not apply in this business. You're going to get an X amount of coins depending on the API that you got throughout the month. That's the first thing. How much are those coins that you have made in that specific month? How much are they worth depending on the price that you're selling it at? So it's not a straight math of, if I invest 1 million, how much am I going to get per month? It really depends. It's not that straightforward, you know, because there are dynamics in this business. There are dynamics in this business. And if someone told you that there are no dynamics, then they lied to you. There are dynamics in this business. And once you understand these two things, you can now position yourself in such a way that you know what I am actually doing. You know that, okay, this business, the way it's going, these percentages are going to be decreasing. What should I do? You ask yourself that, like, what should I do? Once you get that, then you know how you are going to approach the business. Because so many people are asking, hey, why are the percentages going down? And you have to explain yourself over and over again, which is not healthy, because these concepts are concepts that everyone who was starting the business was introduced to. Everyone was told that you're buying an asset and the price fluctuates. There is no way. Another thing to finalize before I open up for questions. There is no way that you can actually pinpoint where the price of an asset is going to be in the next few months or in the next few years. The concept is, we believe that since the project is good enough, ink will one day get to $5, perhaps to $10. But there is no way that you can say, on March, this coin is going to get to this price. Not only for ink, for any asset in the world, any asset in the world, there is no way for you to know at exactly what price is this asset going to be in the next few years, in the next few days. What we do are educated predictions. Like the way I'm seeing this business, perhaps in the next 2 to 3 years, we might get to this price. But you cannot actually guarantee that in the next few years, you're going to have, this is going to be the price. There were people who were speculating that, I think it was last year, after the bull run, by March, Bitcoin is going to get to $200,000. Where is it now? You see? So there are dynamics to any business. In the crypto space, especially with Inkryptus, you have those two dynamics, the fluctuation in price and the changes in the APY. Once you know that, it's very easy for you to do your investment. So if everything was clear, please go to the box chat and type 777. If everything was clear to that point, please go to the box chat and type 777. And if you have a question, this is the best time now for you to ask your question. So I believe with this session, as you are writing your questions and as you are typing 777, we are going to receive less questions to what is causing me to get less money than I did in the last month. Because you now understand the dynamics of this business. Is it dynamic as Forex? Yes, the simple answer is yes, because in all those aspects, in Forex, we're treating currency as a commodity or as an asset. So it applies on the fundamental principles of supply and demand. When it comes to finances, supply and demand is everything. If supply is bigger than demand, there's a drop in price. If supply is greater than demand, those dynamics. So it's for you to understand now how the business. No, it's not based on skill. DAP is not. This is not trading. This is investing. Skills in investing is another different thing, because when you're doing investing, you're basically focused more on the fundamentals than the technicals. So when we're dealing with fundamentals, then there are things that you have to check in. And we did not cover those fundamentals in this session because today we wanted to clarify that point so that we don't get many more questions.